All right, first public input. The public input is for items that are on the agenda only. Second public input will be for open input. Anybody have anything?
I don't have a copy of what's on the agenda, so
Wait for the second.
I don't have an agenda either.
Good to go? Okay.
I'm all set.
All right.
are you going to give us an
Yeah,
agenda?
do we have an agenda?
We can take a look at it.
I'll give you an extra copy.
I got one.
Next item up is the approval of the February 11th, 2015 minutes.
Mike, excuse me, I don't think we've waived public input. See, it's how we didn't really know what's on it.
Okay, I'll wait for you. I'll wait. 30 seconds.
Where's your timer?
You can wait for the second one as well.
I just have one question on the Koistinen settlement. I heard scuttlebutt at the high school that there were other options that were available that were never told to the public at the public hearing. Is that true?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Was that a legitimate question from the agenda?
Yep. so the question is on the
Okay,
agenda.
because my comment to Commissioner is, you gave us this proposed settlement agreement between the town and Windsor Locks. I got to refer to, I guess, paragraph 3, page 2 of 5. And I quote, "The parties understand and agree that should this agreement not be approved through the required authorization procedures of the town, the terms of this agreement will become null and void without effect on the parties." I heard absolutely nothing about this statement. The only thing I heard from you and the media was if townspeople chose not to approve the settlement agreement, that Koistinen would be reinstated. And I agreed that that was a risk of not voting for the settlement, but it wasn't the facts, and it wasn't the truth. And we've had some discussion before. I think you're grossly misinterpreting that decision out of Stratford. I've concluded that the Supreme Court says that an arbitration award can be overruled, thrown out, if in fact that award violates public policy. I accuse you and the rest of the town officials of using scare tactics to push through this settlement agreement. And, you know, if you're going to do it like that, why did we even bother to go to the polls?
Put wide open.
I have a question to the chief. I had called the police department to report an incident approximately 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I had a problem with a civilian dispatcher, and I filed a written complaint. I spoke to the sergeant on duty. I filed a written complaint with you, but I never received any type of notification that you had received the complaint. I never received any notification that my complaint was under investigation, what the circumstances of my complaint were, whether the complaint has been assigned to somebody for investigation, whether the complaint is completed, what the findings were. Basically, what I want to know is, was the complaint looked at? Was it substantiated? Was the person spoken to? Basically, what was the outcome of the circumstances? And the thing being, Chief, is that obviously I've worked there before. Detective Sergeant Rochelli's worked there before. We've had a problem with the same person for years since she's been there. The fire department has filed so many complaints against this person, and it's unbelievable. Chief Sahaki has swept complaints under the carpet about her like you would not believe. She is gonna get somebody killed. And unless something is done, something severe is gonna happen.
Let me answer your question first. I did receive your complaint. It's under investigation. And as soon as it's completed, you'll be notified what the outcome is. It is being currently investigated.
But like
If I understand, your letter was pretty clear.
I was quite upset, and I'd like to actually, to be honest with you, with Sergeant Garofalo being the union president, he and I have had some words because I think the union had let me down at the tail end of the issue that I had. But the thing is that I think that he had handled it the right way when I spoke with him, because it is so obvious the situation that I was calling about, and it was so ridiculous, her response, that it screams that it needs to be dealt with right away. And I put in the letter that I was going to CC the commission. I never did, and that's my fault. But I know that Michael Hannaford has been a long-time police officer, and I've known Michael many, many years. And
Time's up, Mike. Just wrap it up.
if he saw what had happened, he would say, what the hell's going on as well also. And I just need it to be taken care of before somebody seriously gets hurt.
We'll notify you of the outcome. It's under investigation.
I have corresponded with you, and I copied in the chief. I have a little problem there. You have an officer on staff who was involved in an investigation that was conducted by major crimes. I inquired of the chief whether or not there was any information available. The chief responded that no, there wasn't. I've tried to get information from major crimes regarding that same officer and that incident. I don't know how it can be, and this is before Chief Osanich. Let me clarify that. This is before Chief Osanich, and he's not responsible for anything that I'm saying here. But without having any documentation, and I'm not going to go into the whys and the wherefore in the incident right now, how does the chief know, how does the commission know whether this person was ever cleared and reinstated, unless there's some information that some of the older commissioners who served for a longer period of time may be privy to. I'm going to ask the chief, and I'm going to ask you, Commissioner Royston, to look into this situation and see what we can find out, because I'm still interested in obtaining